Hi! How are we? Oh, I know, me too. It's Monday, yeah. I know. You guys have proper jobs, so Monday actually means something. I know, it's hard. No, I'm hoping you guys can cheer me up because something really distressing genuinely happened to me today on my way here. I got into the area a little bit early, so I had some time to kill, and I thought, fine, I had to kill time. Partake in my favourite hobby, my favourite pastime, which I really recommend. It's smiling at old people, yeah? What you do is you just find an old person, done it since I was about 15, you give them a nice twinkly smile, and just let them know that not all young people are scum, yeah? And we're not all necessarily going to stab you, yeah? So I was outside, I was picking them off like a sniper of joy, yeah? And this woman about my age, maybe a little bit older, dropped some rubbish on the ground. And this old lady, like my mark, I'd been working on her for a while, she was appalled. She was really upset. So I thought, I've got this. I know what to do here. So I went over and picked up the rubbish and put it in the bin, yeah, like a hero. And I smiled at her, and she smiled back. We had a nice moment. And then she said to me, young people are awful, aren't they? And that's how I knew I was old. I had no idea. It was genuinely distressing. I got round the corner and like a 15-year-old gave me a twinkly smile. I was like, I'm not there yet, bitch. Back up. No. I am getting older, though. I'm in my 30s. Yeah, it's an exciting age if you've got your life together. If you haven't, then all you've really got to look forward to is, the houses you'll never own, the babies you'll never have, and death. Which I am actually quite pumped for. So. My mother heard me say that once and she said, darling, you're forgetting the menopause. Thanks, Mum. Thanks. But no, I've got the same group of girlfriends that I've had since I was 11, and they do have their shit together, and they're like buying houses and getting married and having, what's that shit called, babies, and really enjoying themselves, and they try and say supportive things to me, which I think is lovely. They say things like, Nemi, I think you're really lucky, because I would have loved to have had a go at dating in my 30s. Would you? Look at you. How adorable. How precious. Look at you. Would you really? Like, yeah, no, I would have loved to have had a go on Tinder. But you see, my problem is, I just met my Rob when I was so young. So I've just spent my whole adult life being loved and adored and cherished and celebrated. Just never really had a chance to be desperate, pathetic, lonely, suicidal. God, I would have loved to have given it a pop. You just think, well, we can swap. I will quite happily spend a night in your house, which you bought with money, yeah, with your husband who has all his own hair and a job, and you can go out tonight on my date with the man who's listed in my phone as Alleyway Simon. Okay? We'll see who has... Don't judge me, madam, okay? You've got to have a system, otherwise it's chaos. Very difficult. And everything's changed. They have all these celebratory events that I have to go to. They have baby showers and engagement parties and housewarmings. And something changed in my 30s. You don't just wear what you like now. You wear a nice little dress from Hobbs or a nice little outfit from Jigsaw. Basically everyone rocks up to these things looking like Kate Middleton. And I didn't get the memo. So I'm always there in my slutty little frock from H&M because, dress with the cock you want. And I get there, it's very awkward, they're children. I like children a lot, but I've realised that the best part for me of hanging out with children is handing them back to their owner. So I don't think it's for me, and I found that I don't have any childless role models. And then I realised that society in general doesn't really know what to do with women that don't want children. And I've actually realised where this is most obvious, and I don't know if we have anyone from the advertising industry in, but pregnancy test commercials. Yeah, we all seen this? We've seen this bag of lies. I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable, but can we just all side with me here that 90% of the test market shopping for a pregnancy test are not hoping for a positive result? But they don't want to put this on television. No, they don't want to show the truth. They want to show a bunch of 14-year-olds. Standing around a piss stick with a bottle of tequila going, don't worry, Abby. Worst case scenario, we'll go to the clinic after school. Your mum doesn't have to know. They're not going to put that on television, guys. But what I find genuinely distressing is they won't show someone in their 30s, my age, holding a positive pregnancy test while she sobs. And her friend says, oh, Rachel, don't cry. These tests are wrong all the time. And she goes, no, Sarah, you don't understand. Clear Blue is the most reliable pregnancy test on the UK market. My life as I knew it is over. They're not putting it on television, guys. I've asked. But no, my friends are very sweet, and they do check up on me. I had a phone call a couple of days ago from my friend Becky, who I've known since I was 11. And Becky's a phenomenal businesswoman. And she said, I was just talking to the girls, and we were wondering, you know, when you go home to a strange man's house, and I was like, you make it sound like I do it a lot. I only do it like 2 or 3 times a week. She was like, no, but when you do, are you careful? You know, are you being safe? I was like, of course I'm being safe. I'm a strong, independent, modern woman, okay? What I like to do when I go back to a strange man's house is just clock where the CCTV cameras are, yeah, make sure hair and makeup's looking good, stand up straight, tummy in, nice smile, because those are the pictures they'll use on the news if I go missing. You want a pot, guys. I want it to be clear why they took me. I want all the other murderers to be jealous. No, I went on a date a while ago because I needed a drink and I'd run out of money. Be a feminist when I'm rich. No, he seemed very nice, very charming, but he spent the entire evening insisting I go back to his, which obviously, as a modern woman, I found very insulting, because if he'd taken the time to get to know me, he would have worked out that was already going to happen. But I said no, and then he started getting annoyed, and he was like, I'm not just out for sex, I'm trying to find my wife, and I don't know where I'm going wrong. And I was like, I have an idea. And I had to explain to him that no great modern romance story, no romance story in the history of time has ever began with somebody being pressured into sex. It's not right. You know, imagine if he did become my husband, the love of my... Quarter of a century from now, I could be at my silver wedding anniversary in front of all of my friends and family, giving a speech about having... Well, I remember my first date with Jeremy. Yeah, we went to a bar, and I said I'd have a glass of white wine. And he went to the bar, and he came back with all these shots. And I said I didn't want shots, and he said, no, drink the shots. And I started to feel a bit unwell, so I asked if I could have a glass of water. And he went to the bar, but he didn't get me a glass of water, did you? No, you didn't. He got more shots. And then I actually was physically quite violently sick. And I said, I'd like to go home. And he said, no, don't go home, come back to mine. And I said, no, I'd like to go home. And he said, no, don't go home, come back to mine. And I said, no, I don't feel well or safe. I'd like to go home. And he explained to me that I was being a bit frigid. Yeah, a little bit of a prude, bit of a selfish bitch. So obviously, with my eyes newly opened, I did go back to his, and we had some awkward, bumpy, deeply unpleasant sex. Just dreadful, wasn't it, darling? And what can I say? I knew immediately that he was the one. And standing here now, 25 years on, in front of all of you, I can honestly say I've never been happier. Oh no, sorry, happy. I've never been happy. Thanks for having me, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. Cheers.